What's up, fellow nerds? The username is Jinxisnotonline, and I apologize for the gigantic absence of uploading over the past few months. I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna kick off the new uploading schedule with this video. Now, if you're one of my friends in real life, you know that I go on and on and on about books if you will let me. Seriously, my room is basically a bookshelf with a bed in the corner. Most of the space I have is either taken up by books, or old books, poem books, comic books, graphic novel books, any manga books, any type of books I have. So I thought, why not kick off a book reviewing series with one of my favorite all-time books ever, Catcher in the Rye. 214 pages and written by J.D. Salinger. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the Catcher in the Rye, grab your tea, grab your blanket, and let's get started. Okay, one of the interesting aspects of J.D. Salinger as an author, and also in the aspect of this book, is that he was a very private person. He repeatedly turned down invitations for interviews. He did not let much of his private life out to the public. So he was very much a supporter of the mantra of the author is dead. He believed that the author should be separated as much as possible from the unadulterated text so you can get the full scope of what he is trying to convey, and not be worrying about trying to fit J.D. Salinger into the pages of this book. So, to appease J.D. Salinger, let's look at the unadulterated, pure text. Now, one of the aspects that J.D. Salinger uses in The Catcher in the Rye as a literary function is using past tense verbs in present tense voice, which may sound a little confusing, so let me break it down. So basically, Holden Caulfield, while the character is experiencing past memories in present tense, he is talking about it in past tense. So it's like if you're talking to your friend, your buddy, you're having a good time, you're like, oh, remember that time when we did blah 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 with you-know-who, you know? You may be talking about it in present tense, but you're talking about the actual events in past tense. That made sense. One of the ways that one of the most gut-wrenching ways he uses this is in a line in chapter 5 when Holden Caulfield is talking about his brother's baseball mitt. So he had written, Holden Caulfield's brother had written poems in green ink in the palm of the baseball mitt, so that way he would have something to read when he was out in the field. Let's read the actual quote so I don't butcher it. First, because I'm too lazy to actually flip through the pages of this book, I looked it up on the internet, but to do that, I need my trusty laptop. Okay. This is a direct quote from chapter 5, Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. He, Holden Caulfield's brother, had wrote them poems on it, the baseball mitt, so that he'd had something to read when he was out in the field and nobody was in the bed. He's dead now. You'd have liked him. Just that quote itself shows how biting and how final his writing style can be in this book. I mean, I don't care how many times I've read this book. It could be the 5 millionth time me reading it. I will still break down crying because of the gut wrench at the end of that sentence. He's talking about his brother in past tense. You're imagining this little boy reading poems, reading Robert Frost in the palm of his hand while he's waiting for someone to go up to bat. And then you're pulled out of that kind of warm and fuzzy remembrance into the cold, hard reality. He is dead. End of sentence. That just gets me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cry right now. But it shows how, although it does show how he's trying to distance himself from all of his problems. He is using past tense, trying to talk about it like it has already happened. I can't change it. I want to get away from it. He's using past tense to separate himself and deal with his own loss of his brother. That is one aspect of Catcher in the Rye. The other is that basically this entire book, while it is amazing to read and one of my favorite books, it is basically about this one guy's existential crisis as he's finishing high school. What I'm talking about is Holden Caulfield. He is finishing going through the last couple years of his high school. He just got kicked out of his boarding school Pensy. He's flopped 3 out of, well, I think it was 4 out of 5 of his subjects. Excuse me. And he is basically facing going into adulthood with nothing, and with the hardest start you can get in going to adulthood. Barely a high school education, no prospects for college, and this book is about him wandering around New York thinking about his fears of growing up. This all goes back around to the title of the book, The Catcher in the Rye. The meaning behind the title is that Holden Caulfield himself is really obsessed with the idea of innocence. He is obsessed with keeping the ones he loved and himself innocent, and away from the scariness and the kind of deadly way he views adulthood. He wants to be a catcher in the rye. He wants to save and catch the people he loves and save them from that scary adulthood that he has been thinking of since he was younger and when his brother died. And really, this entire book is him trying to find someone that will validate his fears of growing up. Tell him that it's okay to be scared, and to tell him that he doesn't have to, because there'll always be another hope. He's waiting for someone to tell him that it's going to be okay. Someone to tell him that he is okay to be scared, that he can also overcome that fear. And he goes through this entire novel trying to find someone to do that. Old school friends, teachers, cab drivers, even a prostitute at some point. He talks to everyone he can in New York City. But, like always, people are so invested in their own self that they can never truly comprehend what the other person is feeling. Which is another reason, leading into another reason why Catcher in the Rye is such a good book. Because while it may not have a lot of action sequences or fighting scenes, this book is very much mental rather than physical. You can hear all of Holden Caulfield's fears and concerns and thoughts and ideas, and you can hear them and read them and feel them as if they were your own at the same time. And you just get fully invested in Holden Caulfield, and you understand fully what his fears are about. Holden Caulfield is finally getting someone to listen to him and to validate his fears of growing up. Validate his fears of growing up. He is forcing almost the reader to finally listen to him. Finally, he's getting someone to understand his fears and to comprehend his own fears and comprehend his own thoughts, which is something that novels and literature do wonderfully. They can give you empathy. They can have you understand different cultures and different walks of life just by reading a book on your couch eating Cheetos. Downfall, you stain all your books in Cheeto fingers, but hey, you're living the life. But hey, at least you get to understand people more fully. And that's what I think literature does. It helps you understand people's fears and people's thoughts. It takes you out of yourself and puts you into their perspective and their narrative. It pulls you out of your narrative and puts it in theirs. I think that's a good segue to end this video. I hope it wasn't too long. Editing these is too long. But yes, so I'm thinking, since this is a new series and I need a rating system, that I would rate them by teacups. Okay, shut up, it is an IMD, but it's mine. So I give Catcher in the Rye 4 tea-sips out of 5. Like my Ireland mug. But I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please click the like button down there. If you want to see more of my videos, which will be coming soon, I promise I will record videos, then click the subscribe button down there. And if you want to watch a better crafted version of A Catcher in the Rye, then go over and watch Crash Course Literature's 2-part series on The Catcher in the Rye. Trust me, it's worth watching. John Green is an amazing author / teacher / general person. I recommend watching all of his videos. Nerd Fighter. I recommend them gigantically, like seriously. I have a hat that just says Nerd Fighter on it. And here's my pink green poster. Trust me, I recommend them gigantically. They're amazing. They are so thoughtful. They're intellectually amazing. I've said amazing too much. They're just so smart. I recommend watching it gigantically. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see all of you nerds in the next video. Bye bye.